Hey all, so we got a very long war here today, even though I apparently forgot to record two fights, so apologies for that. But we are up against D69. This first fight, this Hulkling is placed by Cap Communist, who used to be one of my co-officers back in the day, funnily enough. He's a very, very good player, also runs a YouTube channel where I know he covered this same war. So feel free to check that out. But yeah, basically our goal here with Hulkling is to throw the special three when he's not indestructible, and that's the whole game plan. That is the entire thing. And honestly, probably should have knocked him down with a heavy there because I don't think I'd processed that protection came back. So we could have done more damage. We could have done a lot more damage actually. But it's not really a big deal. There's so many buffs going on in this fight that the next special 3 is never that far away. So this part was annoying because I didn't think that I had blocked two of those hits in the special one. My inputs were not feeling great during this war. I actually reported 2 issues towards the end of it that I cut out of these recordings. So, already lost a little bit more health than I would have liked, but it's fine. Doom is plenty tanky. Don't feel like I blocked that hit either that triggered the unblockable, but at least we were able to dex out of it after that. I'm definitely noticing now on watching this back, though, I used a pre-fight from House of X here. I'm playing this fight as though I don't have one. And it makes sense in a lot of ways because even though I can parry, parrying ends up hurting me when he gains pierce buffs. That one, those inputs were very frustrating. Like, it makes sense why I'm playing without it, but then at that point, why did I use the pre fight and burn up those charges for House of X? I don't get it. Anyway, that's a question for past DLL. Obviously, that fight is very safe. There are a lot of places where Doom is not particularly amazing for Hulkling, but here, where you can just ride your way to the next special 3 and it does plenty, yeah, he's fantastic. So you guys have seen me take this Nick Fury a few times with House of X now. Funnily enough, I'm recording this after doing my fights for War 10, where House of X was banned against us. So I imagine that was just a general strategy that our opponents intended to employ as opposed to a way of stopping me from doing this. But it made me chuckle all the same. Um, yeah, this is the same basic fight. We're going to parry when we can. We're just going to wait out the special one unsteady. We're going to hit in after it to build power, but we're not going to expect to do any real damage during it. Now, ideally, we'd be doing a little bit better with our parries because I have kind of been missing some of them and giving him good opportunities to heavy instead of just going for another hit. That is on me. Not really sure what happened there either. Like I said, I probably wasn't at the absolute top of my game. I think I was legitimately tired. That one probably wasn't an input hit. That was probably just me. Because I remember feeling sloppy through a lot of this. Like, I don't really want to take the blame for what happened in the Hulkling fight before this, but that one, that was probably just me being silly. Obviously, because protection wasn't down when we threw the special, we didn't get as much power back from that. And because of glancing here, it's very difficult to get to another special while we still have the Fury. And so that's what keeps this fight from closing out as quickly as some previous ones that I've done. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We can punish his special 1, we can punish his special 2. Because we're a mutant, we're not worried about giving him too many charges. We're just going to keep hitting him. And that's all there is. I think this is probably... Yeah, I probably need one more special 1 after this. He's not likely to throw the special 1 at 16 charges, so that gives us a little more freedom to intercept. And then he throws this here. I probably could have avoided that. I think I could have just gone ahead and thrown my special one and closed it off. I was a little more conservative. It's fine. The fight still ends. We move right on. So funnily enough, I've actually taken this Chavez in the past with Reed. You get enough evade timing, and basically you bait a few special ones in a row. You get your Careful Study passive up, and then the whole thing is pretty safe. But I wouldn't call it ideal. And so doing this with Doom definitely makes more sense, as you're going to see. I took the Ebb and Flow Intercept Chavez previously with Doom. The knockdown one is much, much easier. So this is a good placement, but I also think that Doom with House of X is maybe the single best counter for the reasons you're seeing here. It's just so much control. Because often the way a fight against Chavez will go south is that she will just decide to be rude at one point or another, and she will throw a special 2 where you really, really don't want her to, or even a special 3. And while Doom doesn't answer a lot of things she does, one thing he does do is make sure she doesn't do that. Now, I probably should have just immediately thrown the special 2 here. It would have done enough damage. Again, with this one, as with earlier, I'm for some reason not knocking them down before my special 3. I really don't know why I wasn't better about that in this. It doesn't matter, because what we're really focused on for Doom is power control, and he does enough damage. But in some alternate universe where Doom didn't have the second highest base attack in the game, that would be something that I would want to clean up about my gameplay there. So we're going to go ahead and throw these pre-fights on. You can Doom this Mangog, honestly, but it's just such an easy fight for Reed, and it ramps him really well. I've taken it before when Spider-Man 2099 has been banned. I actually like Reed for it better than Miguel, honestly. But it's close enough that it doesn't really matter. And you'll see here all of the good things about it. There's just... You have a really high evade chance because the bubble shield going unblockable spikes it up pretty well. You have a ton of control. You're not going to stop combat power rate because of the power focus here, but because you don't have the enhanced power gain that you do on node 54, notice the unblockable helped us there because that was in the middle of a special. Because you don't have the enhanced power gain here that you do on 54, as soon as you throw your second special 2, you're reversing his power. And even after you throw the first one, you've almost completely stopped it. So that's why this is just very, very simple. Even though he's gaining power from us hitting him, it's not a lot, and he is constantly losing power because of the 3 petrifies we have on him. And at that point, you just close it out with special 1s and smacking him around, and now we're nice and ramped and have a bunch of pre-fights for Reed. So I'm going to pause this real quick and talk about the fights that I apparently did not record. Like I said, I was pretty tired when I did this war, apparently, and I think a lot of things were just not fully flowing. But you can kind of see there a Sersi on path 6. I took her with Doom. You just stay on top of the glancing, which keeps glancing itself in cooldown. Yes, it triggers return policy, but for Doom that just means he steals more power with his special 1, makes it easy to cycle. There's almost nothing to it. The fight after that is significantly less advisable. It was Doom against Joe Fixit. But basically what you do there is it's the same way that you would play like Kingpin versus Null. I just did 4 hits and blocked immediately, and I was pushing him to his special 2 because the special 1 is the danger there. And just relied on Doom again having high damage and good control and having good armor and block proficiency, and that was enough. Just kind of slow played it. So with that, we can go ahead and get into the hard fight that is Sasquatch. And I say hard fight not because this is a real stretch for Doom. It's not, but just because Sasquatch himself is dangerous. Um, I have taken this before and it's looked absolutely gorgeous. I've seen many other people take it and it go really well. But I don't know, I just felt like something was going to be off tonight. So, in addition to the invulnerability I normally use here, I also threw on a special 3 defense boost. And you're going to see why that mattered right there. Because I am sure that I blocked. I don't know what happened. But yeah, invulnerability boost gone. And so instantly, the biggest threat of using Doom on this node, triggering return policy at a bad time and pushing the opponent red, just became a lot more real. So that was obviously not ideal. But we are still in control for the moment. I am not going to go straight for another special 3. I wasn't even before this because I just knew Wrath was coming. Now would be a very inconvenient time for it to trigger, so of course that happens. And then that dex doesn't work the way that I wanted it to, and half of my health is gone to these ruptures. Funnily enough, 2 of the other people I know who have taken this have also almost died to those ruptures. You'll just see how they keep ticking away at our health. It's so much damage. So that's really unfortunate, but we are still okay here. We just need to get back up to our special 3. That's going quite well. This fight is not out of control. Not yet, right? I probably triggered some of your spidey senses by saying that, because I think right after this is where this happens. Yep, I go for the Doom cycle. I throw this. Okay, no, that went well. Oh, where is it? Something is about to go horribly wrong. Okay, it's after this one. Yeah, because I wanted the second special 2. I wanted the double fury for my special... Or I wanted the second special 3, because I wanted the double fury for my special 2 to make sure we didn't have to worry about regen. Here it is. Those are not the inputs I used. I have no idea why that happened, but obviously it caused my special 1 to miss, not power steal, and so instead of an unblockable special 2 finishing him off at 14%, I have a Sasquatch in Wrath of Tanarak who just hit me with a special 3 and is now backing me up. I am so terrified. Here I just throw a special 1 because I know that I need the control. God. That fight went so south, so fast. Just because the combo I was intending to use was not the one that came out. So that was really unfortunate. But now we get back into the way that we were hoping to play this, which is a Fury and a Special 2. You don't even need the double Fury. You can see that we just close this out with a single one. I was so close to finishing it, but almost bungled it instead. Anyway, I guess now I have the best save of the last few months on this account, so that's nice. I say on this account, but I barely played War on the alt, so I don't know what that means. Yeah, you can tell this one got to me. Anyway, really, really glad I didn't blow my streak there. And then we move on to this Sorcerer, which I've taken before this season. She's a very popular placement here with Spidey 2099 band. You can use Blade with the Mephisto synergy. That works fine. I imagine people have made Scorpion happen, but that doesn't sound fun at all. And then I'm sure there are plenty of debuff detox options that do eventually get through it, but Reed is definitely my favorite choice. Blade might be better. Archangel with Invulnerability. That's the one I was having trouble thinking of. Excuse me. But Blade might be better, but that also requires 3 slots. Reed does not. So obviously, another fun little input thing there. I think this is the other one that I reported at the end of the fight. Cost me my first set of debuffs and a bit on my indestructible. Don't love that, but this fight is definitely not out of hand just yet. The reason that I like Reed so much for this is that, short of him being Blade, he just controls the rest of the fight so well. It would be a longer fight if our opponent were not running willpower, but as soon as we get this special 2 off, we're going to start doing red numbers to them just from heal reversal, and we're going to hold on to that for the rest of the fight. Once we get up to another special 2, it's going to be pretty significant, and it's going to be fine. We do still have, I think, 1 charge on the indestructible. Yep, here it comes. Thank God the evades saved us and we didn't lose all 3, because maybe I would have survived this. I honestly don't know. This was such a messy war for me, so I'm sorry, but hope it's still helpful. And we go ahead and throw the special 2 here. As a reminder, it cannot glance because it is actually on activation, and the code is living on the opponent, because that's how pre-fights work rather than on Reed. And so even though his ability accuracy is being reduced, that doesn't matter. And then the fact that it refreshes on knockdown cannot glance because it's a knockdown, it's not on hit. So now I feel like we have this under control. Like, she's still dangerous. Notice that she's still gaining power, because that's how enhanced power gain works. But now we're able to just spam special 1s. We can keep the taunt on her, so she's less likely to go to another special 3. We've blunted all kinds of things in her kit with our stacking debuffs. And we survived the special 3. So that was a very messy war. Honestly, probably the 2 cleanest fights I had all night are the 2 that I didn't record and couldn't show you. But that was 9 fights for me. It was a big war, and I'm really glad I didn't drop any attack bonuses for us. We unfortunately did not win this one, but it was very close. We caught them with a couple placements, they caught us with a few, and I think it came down to a single fight, if I remember. Which actually means 2, because they were ahead on time. But yeah, it was a close one. Overall, I enjoyed it. We're still in a good spot for the season. We're probably off the podium at this point, but that is not our goal anyway, so that's not a problem. And yeah, we'll see how the next, next 3 go. Yeah, we're in the home stretch here. Yeah. Again, hope y'all enjoyed this despite it being relatively sloppy. And until the next one, thanks so much for watching, and take care.